you've only got a few seconds to mix out. So you reach for your next track. It looks fine, but it doesn't load. Now you're left scrambling for something else. And every second you burn here risks losing the crowd. This is one of the most common silent failures I see in the DJ libraries I've analysed. And even experienced DJs don't realise it's gonna happen. In this video, I'm gonna show you why it happens, how to fix it in under 1 minute, and show you how to solve the missing file problem nobody talks about. When you add a track to Rekordbox, you're actually just creating a link to that file on your computer. So if you rename, move, delete that file or the folder it's in, Rekordbox won't know where it's gone, and the link will break. The scary thing is, Rekordbox won't tell you there's an issue until you actually try and load the track. You'll get an error and this annoying little exclamation point icon. Or if you try and export to your USB, you still get all the fun of waiting for the export to complete, even if every single track is missing, plus the bonus of a big fat error message at the end saying you suck. To fix this, you need to rebuild that link, so when you're in the middle of a set, it just works. There are 2 ways to do this depending how broken your library is. The first method is best for one-off intentional changes. Currently this track loads fine, but I've noticed a typo in the file name that I want to fix. As we discussed, this will break the link in the Rekordbox database. And as you can see, Rekordbox isn't going to flag this up at all. But when I actually try and load that file to the deck again, I'll get the exclamation mark and the error. The fastest way to fix these single changes is to right-click on the file and choose Relocate. You'll then just be able to select the file again. That re-establishes the link in Rekordbox and it will load fine from that point onwards. Doing this is fine for one-offs, but if you have loads of missing files, there's a much faster way. Rather than hunting out exclamation points like an angry English teacher, you can use this instead. Rekordbox actually has a handy little tool that will show all your missing files. Go to File, Display All Missing Files. Now from here, you could go through one by one as before, and use the manual relinking we just covered by clicking Relocate. Or if there's some tracks in there that you definitely don't need anymore, you can do a bit of a tidy up with the delete button. But the more powerful option here is the auto relocate. This will scan various default folders on your computer. Rekordbox will have a look through those and do its best to automatically relink those files. But calm down, Jimothy, I don't recommend pressing this just yet. If you've got a massive library or just loads of junk on your computer, this can take ages. And that's not ideal if you're trying to get your tunes ready 20 minutes before your gig. So it's a really good idea to spend just a few moments to make this more targeted. Close the Missing Files panel and head into Preferences. Under Advanced Database, you'll find a section called Auto Relocate Search Folders. Cache. There's a few defaults checked. I'm going to uncheck Movies and Desktop because I never store my music there. And if you're storing music in Movies, you're a sick puppy. But the power option here is to add your own folders. This will tell Rekordbox exactly where you want it to look, so it doesn't waste time looking in your folder. To add a folder, click Add and then choose the top level folder where you store your music. Rekordbox will look in subfolders automatically, so you don't need to add those separately. You can add multiple folders here using the Add button, which can be handy if you store your music across your internal and external drives. Or if you've added any by mistake, you can use the Delete button. With that all set up, we can now head back into the Display Missing Files window. And now, instead of going through one by one, you can just click Auto Relocate. Rekordbox will search all those folders you just added and do its best to relink everything. Another cool thing about setting this up is it upgrades the single track auto relocate in the browse view. That means if you spot one while you're creating a playlist or just browsing your collection, you can quickly right-click and do auto relocate without having to find a specified folder. It's worth mentioning here that auto relocate only works if tracks have moved folder. It won't work if they've changed file name. You'll need to use manual relocation for that. But there's a common error that can happen during this process, and it happens in a very specific scenario. And I wanted to cover this because I haven't seen this solution discussed anywhere else. You've got a track in your collection. I'm going to call it track A. It's got all your hot cues, painstakingly applied grid, and any other prep. And let's say you stored it originally in the music/hippo tunes folder. Then, at some point, you thought it was more of a zebra vibe, so you moved it to the Zebra Tunes folder. Rekordbox now considers track A missing because the file path has changed, so the link is no longer valid. 3 weeks down the line, you forget you've already got that track in your collection. You import it again from its new location in Zebra Tunes. Rekordbox won't complain, but it will treat that track as a completely new tune. I'll call this track B. And because Rekordbox thinks it's new, it won't carry over any of your track prep from track A. So you've got the same track twice in your collection. You've got track A, which has all your prep but a broken broken file path. And you've got track B, which has no track prep, but the right file path. With me so far? So here's where the problem happens. One day you're prepping for a gig and you notice track A has that annoying little exclamation mark on it. You try and auto-relocate it like the good DJ you are. Rekordbox finds that file in its new location, Zebra Tunes, but it sees that track B, the one with no prep, is already pointing at that exact location. It'll throw a hissy fit to prevent what it sees as a duplicate file, and you'll reach a dead end. So to fix this issue, you'll need to do a bit of tidying up. Take a note of the track that Rekordbox is complaining about. Then in your collection, do a search for it. You should see two versions. One with the exclamation mark but your prep, track A, and one without but with no prep, track B. It's also useful here to enable the location column to make sure you're looking at the right thing. You can do that by right-clicking and choosing location. You now need to remove track B, the one you accidentally added and has got no prep. Once that's done, it will clear that slot in the Rekordbox database, and you'll be able to successfully relink track A and keep all your prep. Okay, you've fixed your missing files, but what can you do to avoid this pain in the first place? You probably heard the advice to keep all your music in one folder. This is usually talked about in relation to backups, but it actually buys you something even more valuable. It's instant recovery when things move or change. When everything lives under that one path, you don't have to go through one by one fixing hundreds of problems. You just point Rekordbox at that one top-level folder and let it figure it out. It's also worth building this missing files check as part of your regular prep process so you don't get any surprises. But missing files are often the first sign of a library that's about to crumble. So check out this video next where I walk you through a complete 5-step system to make any library gig ready.